DJ Ferris.
The Chicago, nigga.
It's the real one.
Hit me.
Only one is pulling shit the fuck up.
Let's get to sports talk.
The Cowboys seem to be known for their talented offense. Here's a look at where they all ended up. You got Dak Prescott checked in as number 8 best quarterback. Zeke in the top 5 among running backs. At number 4, and Amari Cooper just cracked the receivers list at top 10. Still, you know, the Cowboys, they joined the Saints as the only teams to place one player in each of the top 10 at the position of quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. But one voter didn't think Zeke could have been in the top 10 as he or she had Zeke ranked 11th. So Elliott went further on Twitter, and he heard what was said, and he said, whoever that is faded. LOL. Well, guys, look, you know, these rankings, they beg the question, I think. Are the Cowboys as good as we thought they were? Mina, what do you think?
I think the offense is transcendent. I won't use the E word. And I think the defense has a lot of question marks. You know, the Dallas Cowboys offense was the second most efficient offense in football last year. Great offenses are more likely to repeat year to year than great defenses. Oh, they went out and got CeeDee Lamb. I think the offensive line is still one of the best units in football, even with the loss of Travis Frederick. On the other side of the ball, question marks at pass rusher, yes. But I think with new defensive coordinator Mike Nolan, who did a great job with the linebackers in New Orleans,
That's all he needed to do. DeMarcus Lawrence had an off year. And once he get back to that form he was before he got the big contract, like, Dallas Cowboys defense go as Lawrence go. And that's what they need to jumpstart this defense again. He had a little off year. The defense was up and down in the same way. You know, they won the same defense before, but I feel like this year they going to be much better this season. Much better. Dallas it's not a bad team. It's just they consistent problem. It's a consistency problem. That's the only problem that's hurting them. They can have the best defense, they can have the best offense, but it's just they consistent. If they be more consistent this season, Cowboys can make a big opportunity. Yes, they can have good talent around Dak, but you had to make to the playoffs to ordinary to be successful. Like, you got all this talent. If y'all was to miss the playoff again, and people gonna start to wonder like what's going on with this team, because there ain't no more excuses now because you have a new coach and everything. That's what the excuses are gonna be this season. Is this team gonna be more consistent or continue being inconsistent? That's what hurting the Cowboys.
Group of linebackers is going to bounce back, and they should be good enough to keep pace with one of the best, if not the best, offense in the NFL.
Dominic, what do you think? Because, look, they're all these skill players. They're ranked so highly, but at the same time, do we overrank them? Do we overrate them?
Yeah, I mean, they were the second best offense as far as efficiency is concerned last year. The first best, I think, was Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, but that's a different conversation. I do think that the Dallas Cowboys skill players and all of their players, frankly, get a little boost from the media because we talk about them and we watch them and we care about them so much, but I don't think it's fair in this case. I think in this case, it's fairly accurate. If anything, some of these players should be a little higher, and I understand where Zeke's coming from saying that whoever said that is faded because last year was his down year, and he was still top of the league as far as...
And that's what people going to go off of. They don't go off the year you did before. It was the same thing with him. He had the same year he had before. That contract, once he got that contract, it seemed like he had an awful little year. I felt like he was, I think, a little out of shape last season. I feel like he going to come to this season more in shape and ready to go, be back in form how he was before he got the big contract. It's like he got to be the same person that got to eat the same way before you got that contract. You was one of the top running backs before all this. But then that's what people going to go off. When you had them down years, people going to go off that 1 year. It was just 1 year. And like he had so many down years, he only had that one. And that's what people going to predict him off of and say you're not in the top 5 because of a 1 year. It was off, you know, and that's all I'm saying. They had to all be on the same page. The ordinary to keep turning these pages.
rushing yards is concerned. So they are super talented, as Mina continues to say, on offense. The defense has some talent, but there are question marks, especially since they underachieved last year. So I think that these guys are probably, you average them out, they're probably fairly rated. Maybe Amari Cooper should be a little bit higher. Maybe Dak could be a little higher, and Zeke maybe a little lower. But all these guys are special in their spots.
Joey Galloway, what do you think? Would you move them up a little bit and move them down?
I would leave them where they're at. I think that the Cowboys, more so than any other team in the NFL, they're highly talented, but they lose some games that you expect them to win. And I know the NFL is built on the idea that any team can beat any team. That's why nobody's gone undefeated since the Dolphins. But I'm telling you, the Cowboys are a team that any given Sunday, they're the most talented team on the field, but they don't always play to their level of talent. And so I think that's the only thing that holds them back. And if
they play down to their talent. Like the teams who think they supposed to beat, they play like them. And some games they up here, then they back down here. You see what I mean? They have to stay right here. Why do y'all keep going down here? It's up and down with them. Yes, you can have a good offense, but you got to stop going like this. Going like this. You got to be more trending up, not continue trending down and then go back up. That's the only thing that's hurting them. Yes, they have the right guys around that to be able to help Dallas be a successful team, but it just, Sundays, sometimes they play down their competition. And some days they play a high level, then they go back to doing that. You see what I'm saying? It's just a trajectory. Does this continue going down, up? It's like, where's the consistent going to be at? If y'all going to be a consistent team this year or inconsistent? I don't want to keep saying that that's what hurting Dallas. How Dallas could be one of the top teams in this league, but it just, if y'all going to play like it, or y'all continue having that up and down, up and down, up and down.
Well, it is teams that believe they can win football games, and that's what the Patriots have done better than anybody else in football is they go into every game believing that they're going to win, and they find ways to figure it out. The Cowboys go into every game with as much or more talent than anyone else. They hadn't figured out the other piece where it is, we are going to win this game, and we're going to figure out a way to do that no matter what.
Yeah, and for years the issue was that's because of the coaching. We'll see if that turns around right now. But Mina, I want to come to you.
Yeah, I actually forgot something I want to mention. Joey reminded me about those kind of little things around the margins. Cowboys were terrible on special teams last year. I think, if not the worst in the NFL, near the bottom. They brought in John Fassel from Los Angeles, one of the best special teams coaches in the NFL. Again, that sounds so small and minor, and these are the kinds of things we forget when we look at.
Special teams is very important. It might don't look like it, but you need special teams. You keep them from gaining so many yards. You could put them in bad situations, or you could allow them to put their team in the best situations. If you let someone break for at least 60 yards on the other side, and they're starting at the 20, then that's bad special teams right there. Like, special team is very important because it's a position game. So you need a good special teams to how to position the football and where they let them be at the start. Now you allow them to score off a special team that jumpstart the other team, and that's every confidence on their side. But special teams is very important. You can win championships the same way with special teams. They are very important.
Off seasons, but it's those little things at the margins that win games, those improvements. They also have the Rams' old kicker, Greg Legg. So I think the coaching change also is going to benefit this team in addressing what Joey said about them not showing up and winning games and kind of winning at the margins. I think they're going to benefit from that change as well.
Thank you for watching ESPN.